Welcome back. Um, as you can see, we're just gonna hop right back into our hardcore world. I don't know that I've actually done much. Yeah. This music's new, funky. Okay. I like it. What do we actually have? Oh, nothing? That's great. Lovely. Okay. We'll figure out how to mine quickly. Okay. I don't know why it's split like that. That's funny. Okay. Now, I know I thought I might be doing, I don't know, other stuff, other games than Minecraft this time, but I don't know. I just kind of want to play out this hardcore world a little bit. I mean, after all, I wasn't paying like any attention when I last looked. When I last came in, I was more focused on what I wanted to say, so not exactly a fun thing. And I know it's amusing. I focused on what I wanted to say and yet said absolutely nothing and jabbed around for like minutes on end, which is so much fun. But anyway, I feel like wooden pickaxe are such a waste because you use them like 3 times and then you have a stone one because it's just so much faster. Yeah, we'll figure out how to get out of here sometime, I guess. Or I'll get a game over. Yeah, I like how funky this music is. Good time. Can you mine iron? I don't even want to risk it. Okay, let's just get out of here. Again, such a waste of resources. Well, maybe I could mine at least 9 before we head up to the surface. Okay. But this music is in Simlish, by the way, so that's like not real. So if you hear words that sound like words, they're not real. It's never real. I actually used to spend a lot of time looking at the characters and trying to figure out what they were saying. Just in like their conversations, and I never figured it out because one would be like pizza, the other one would be like ghosts. It'd be like ghosts and pizza. Are you seeing like Ghostbuster? And they'd be like, fire. And it's like, I mean, I guess I like the movie. And then they'd be like, spaceship. I'm like, I guess there are alien elements, but I'm just not. I'm really starting to reach here. I don't know. Maybe that was just me though. Now I know earlier in the game. Oh, do I die from this? Okay, not okay. That's cool. That's cool. If I had died, that would be so funny. Okay. But anyway, they used to make the music based off of real songs. I wonder. Well, actually, that's what they do now. I wonder if this is actually based on anything or if it's just generic, but I kind of like it. This one's cool too. Normally I just listen to a lot of upbeat music because, I don't know, it helps me get out of my head a little bit. But I don't know, wordless music is kind of going hard today. Anyway, my visions of the next game I think I'm gonna play is called Frambo. It's a puzzle game. I've seen it played once. A lot of people probably remember Little Misfortune, but I feel like Frambo does not get enough credit. I've never done a full playthrough though. I've seen it done, but I've never done it. So I thought I'd give it a little try and see maybe if that has any kick to it. I don't know. I've been playing Portal here and there. Well, Portal 2, because that's the one that I have installed on this computer. And it's beginning to remind me that I do not have good pathfinding. I don't know how one works on pathfinding, but like, I'm standing there and I'm like, I have no idea where I'm supposed to go next. And this isn't even a puzzle chamber. Am I supposed to go up, down, left, right? I look all the way around. I start eliminating options, like, and then I realize, you know, maybe it wasn't actually, I just wasn't seeing it before. Like, it's not actually that hard. But, you know, always gotta try and figure out a way around, I guess. Mining is just fundamentally not that interesting. For being, like, the first word in the name, you would think that there would be more engaging elements. I don't know. A lot of the times when I'll throw on like a playlist or whatever when I'm going out mining. But this time I did throw on a playlist, but because of all the copyright stuff, you know, it's not my usual mega mix. I'm gonna be honest, it's not even music that I put on. It'll be like a 9-hour compilation of the same, like, thing that I saw 3 years ago. And I'll be like, yes, if I'm just gonna watch this character for 16 hours straight, that would be great. And by the end of it, I will have half the lines memorized. Like House MD, oh my goodness. It doesn't matter the case, I am already all up in it. And I haven't even watched the show. Which is the crazy part. I've just seen so many clips that I just know it. I actually have the show available, like at my parents' have the stuff. So, it's not like I couldn't watch it there. I watched one episode and I was like, you know what? I think I'm actually not enjoying this as much as the clips that people put online. I don't even know why. I mean, I feel like the real show is put together for a reason, but then there's somebody who they pull on some funky music and I don't even know how they do it. They've captured my attention for the next 6 to 8 hours. Which is really unhelpful when you're trying to study. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I had this final that was really hard. Like, people were actually getting Fs. And they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna study on it. Well, the people who were telling me that were all, like, people who I knew from other years. So they'd be like a third year or whatever. So, they had already taken the class. And sorry, I'm just gonna turn this down. It is a little bit louder than I would like it to be. There we go. And they were telling me, oh, it's so hard. And the professor's like, yeah, it's gonna be a remix of every question, like every quiz we've had this semester so far. And that's gonna be really difficult because each question, it would be like, oh, yeah, this computer is able to run Python natively. What is it? And I'd be like, I don't know. They'd be like, what does the Windows Sandbox do? And I'd be like, that's where you put the worms, right? The worms, that's a kind of virus, right? Anyway, I got a C on the final, but, you know, apparently it was on a big curve because lots of people who previously were doing really well had failed it, and I think, honestly, it has something to do with the way AI is being pervasive in the, I don't know, student industry? Because, like, half the people there just use AI to do all their learning and stuff, and then they don't actually know what they're talking about. Which is so crazy to me, because I'm the kind of person who, they were like, oh, did we even learn about that? And I'm like, yeah, 3 lectures ago, when we were talking about this, that, and the other thing, and the professor said this, and then they're like, can you not actually talk like that? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought maybe I'd jog your memory. And then I come off as weird and mean for no reason. Other than maybe I'm a little bit obtuse, but I think that's just the experience of life at this point. What am I making? There we go. I make a lot of the tools in Minecraft backwards, and that's because I learned the recipes when I was like, oh, sick, what are these guys? Hello? Oh, do I not? Okay. Hello? I cannot click on you. Okay. I think these are turtles. I've heard about them. Great stuff. They're just... Can't you make helmets or something? Potion of the Turtle Master? I don't know. Anyway, I learned a lot of these recipes when I was like 6 to 8. And you know what? If they try changing them now, then I don't know what they are. Oh, sick. I've got armor. Okay. Well, I will have armor. Oh, that's not enough. Great. Did I make... Oh, I did, and I do have seeds. Okay. How do I get... Oh. We can make a bucket. Great stuff. We're just gonna... You know what? There's no point in setting all my stuff down because if I end up losing it anyway because I have unfortunately perished, then the world ends anyway. So there's no point in like sitting all that down or even setting respawn points. Kind of a weird thought. I'm super used to like, I don't even know, like setting everything down and only taking minimal risks. I don't know. Also, did anybody else get made fun of for their accent when they lived in like 10 miles away from their house as a kid? Because as a kid, I used to, well, I would say the word like risks and I would enunciate the S and then they'd be like, what are you, some kind of nerd? And I'd be like, yeah, what's wrong with that? And they'd be like, terrible. And what especially made me sound extra posh, I think, is that I, at the time, tended to pronunciate ing as ing. So like walking would be like walking, and everybody else said walkin'. Like they were walking along. And I think over time I've actually gotten more like how they are, but I don't know. I learned to talk through reading because I didn't have friends growing up, so, you know, fun time. But I don't know. Maybe I actually never watched movie with I can't even remember the title. But you know, the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. I never even saw that until I got older and I was like, wait a minute. Why can't the English learn to speak? That makes perfect sense. I don't know. Why don't they just learn the posh accent? And like, I realized that is not the answer. And the answer is actually to flip over the ruling class and, you know, economic hardships should not affect certain classes of people based off of the way they speak or their accent or anything like that. But I don't know. Also, side note, low-key, when I watch a lot of British TV, I sometimes can slip into a British accent that's pretty good. I was better at it. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty decent at it now, but not all the time. Oh, by the way, I like never stop talking. Like, if I wasn't recording, I would still be talking. I've been doing that since I was like a kid. My mother set me up in front of a dollhouse and was like, why is she just going on? And you know what? Neither of us figured it out. I don't know. Did I set up a farm somewhere? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, this is probably why I can't ever get all my assignments done. Because I'm too busy thinking about something else. They're like, oh, can you just write a 9-page essay? And I'm like, okay, but then it's gonna be my 9 pages. And they go, well, that's not what we wanted. And I'd be like, well, you assigned the assignment, and I followed the rubric. So this is kind of awkward. Have you tried just better writing your rubric so it's more clear about what you're asking for? And then they're like mad at me. I don't know. Professors are wild. Like, I wrote this essay on the history of the internet, and I was like, okay, let's talk about Lord Byron a minute, because, you know, he's a whole guy. I mean, he used to believe that if you were a good person, it would show on your face. Like, bro probably got swindled by 9 kinds of con men, like, in an instant. But he was obscenely rich, so, you know, he had that. But anyway, he had this daughter called Ada Lovelace. She was like French or something, and that's why she had such a nice last name, like Lovelace, my goodness. Anyway. Do these become seeds? Oh, they do! I can make pumpkins. Okay. Anyway. Oh, can you even eat pumpkins? Or do they just go on your head? I think I need, like, sugar and stuff. Crafting. Pumpkin. Nope. What do I need for pumpkin pie? Egg and sugar. Okay, I don't have any of that and will not have that anytime soon, so... In you go. I'm actually out of food. That's great. Anyway, she had this really nice last name, and she decided to go through and write a bunch of letters all around court to be like, hey guys, you should really, like, pay attention to this whole computer thing. And it's like, you know, pre-Civil War. So, you know, way earlier than you would think computers exist. And then everybody was like, maybe. They did end up funding it, but the guy who wrote up the plans kept being like, I could make this better. I could do it better. And then he just, like, kept saying that, but didn't develop a model. They should have hired a mechanical engineer. They would have gotten that stuff done. Anyway, she was, like, throwing mad letters around being like, guys, you should pay attention to this, and they funded it. And he, like, made a whole computer, so we have her to thank for, like, the basics of modern computing. Because he made this whole, like, machine. Basically, it was an adding machine. It just, like, added up sums, and they would use it at the time to, like, calculate, like, oh, if this ship is angled at this particular point, and this ship is at this point, what angle do we need to fire the cannons in order to pierce their hull, or whatever? So it's basically like a big calculator, which, you know, has its merits. And anyway, I wrote all about that, and then the professor was like, but this was in history of the internet. And I was like, no, as you get later, I just start talking about, like, phone freaks, like, this was a many-page essay. And I thought it was a good history. And he was like, no, you're an excellent writer, actually, but you just, like, wrote a history. I was like, that was the assignment. And he was like, well, it wasn't researchy enough. And I was like, I had 20 sources. What do you mean? And he was like, well, it just wasn't a paper like I had thought it would be. It's like, bro, you can't even describe what you want. How do you expect me to sniff it out of your skull? Like, if you could just describe it, that'd be great. Anyway, I don't remember what my original point was. I think we've made some progress. I think potentially I could have an iron pickaxe. Should I go to the Nether? Nah, that'd be too fast. It just doesn't seem like I'm dying all over the place. I thought I'd die in like 10 minutes flat. Anyway, I guess this is it because, I don't know, I don't want to stretch this video out forever, but also, like, I don't know. So, I'll probably release something soon-ish, flavored, maybe. No commitments, remember? We're not doing that right now. commitments are for people who have time and less priorities than me. Oh, let's just eat. I thought I saw a spider. Never. Anyway, we might get into some Frambo. We'll see. Bye-bye.